Sometimes the enemy is not out there. It's in our blind spots. We walk around thinking we're confident, bold, humble, honest. But in reality, we might just be proud, foolish, insecure, or bitter. There's a thin line between who we think we are and who we're actually becoming. And if we don't learn how to recognize that line, we'll keep clapping for ourselves while walking into a mess. Let's break it down. 10 confusing traits that people often mistake for something else, and how to tell the difference. 1. Pride disguised as confidence. Let's face it, pride is a smooth talker. It wears the suit of confidence, walks into a room, and fools everybody, including you. But here's the test. Confidence walks quietly because it knows its worth. Pride talks loudly because it needs validation. Confidence says, I'm enough, even if I'm not the best. Pride says, if I'm not the best, I'm nothing. When you can't take correction, when you always have to prove something, that's not confidence. That's ego in a crown. 2. Foolishness, wearing the mask of boldness. Not every risk-taker is bold. Some are just clueless. Foolishness leaps without looking. Boldness steps forward, eyes wide open. Ask yourself, am I taking this step because it's wise or because I want to prove something? Boldness is rooted in purpose. Foolishness is just adrenaline without direction. 3. Insecurity, pretending to be humility. Oh, I'm nothing special. I don't deserve it. Sounds humble, right? But sometimes that's not humility. That's insecurity begging for approval. Humility says, I know I'm good, but I don't need to prove it. Insecurity says, if I downplay myself, maybe you'll praise me. The thin line? True humility doesn't shrink. It simply doesn't boast. Stop hiding your light and calling it holy. 4. Bitterness, hiding in brutal honesty. Some people hurt others and say, I'm just being real. No, you're being bitter, with Wi-Fi. Honesty heals, bitterness bruises. If your truth has no love in it, it's not truth. It's a tantrum in disguise. Ask yourself, is this coming from love or from a wound that still hasn't healed? 5. Envy dressed as constructive criticism. I'm just trying to help them improve. But every helpful comment only appears when they're doing better than you. That ain't help. That's envy in a work uniform. Constructive criticism says, I want you to win, here's how. Envy says, I hope you trip, but I'll say it nicely. The difference? Criticism corrects the work. Envy attacks the person. 6. Control disguised as helpfulness. Let me do it for you. Sounds nice, until they're running your whole life like it's their playlist. Some people help because they care. Others help because they can't stand not being in control. They wrap their manipulation in concern and call it love. But love empowers. It doesn't micromanage your soul. 7. Laziness, pretending to be patience. I'm just waiting for the right time. Are you, though? Or are you procrastinating with poetic excuses? Patience is active. It prepares, it trains, it stays alert. Laziness? It scrolls through motivation quotes and calls that planning. The thin line? If your waiting never involves any working, it's not patience. 8. Fear pretending to be wisdom. Sometimes we call it being careful, but what we really mean is, I'm scared, and I've decorated it with logic. Wisdom takes calculated risks. Fear avoids all risks and then justifies it with overthinking. You're not being wise if you're never moving. Fear wants you to stay safe forever. Wisdom says, let's move, but smartly. 9. Jealousy disguised as concern. I'm just worried about how successful they're becoming so fast. Sure, that's not concern. That's jealousy wearing a halo. Concern says, I hope they're okay. Jealousy says, why not me? But in a caring tone. Ask yourself, am I really worried for them? Or just uncomfortable with their growth? 10. Self-righteousness, posing as morality. Morality walks in humility. Self-righteousness, it walks in circles, with a megaphone and a mirror. I'm better because I do the right thing. That's not morality. That's ego riding on a high horse, quoting rules it barely follows. Real morals speak in action. Self-righteousness preaches with judgment. Here's the truth. You can't change what you won't admit. And the hardest lies to kill are the ones we tell ourselves. But once you learn to spot the thin line, you gain power. The power to grow, to heal, to stop sabotaging yourself in the name of good traits. Be bold enough to ask, is this who I really am or who I'm pretending to be? Because clarity, that's the beginning of change. Like, share, subscribe, and comment below which one of these exposed your blind spot the most. Let's grow, but let's grow with eyes wide open. Stay sharp, stay real, stay free.